W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Now we're about to see if Dominic Valentini has been filled in properly and is ready for the curveball I'm about to throw at him. Let me just double check the calendar here, make sure I don't want to make a mistake. Yeah, no, it's true. It's Friday!
Yay!
Oh, well done, Dominic. You can say that again.
Yay!
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Elvis and Dominic. In for Danielle Mason, along with Mike Parsons, our executive producer.
I had to scramble over there because I remembered, I didn't tell Dominic about the Friday thing.
I wondered about that. Okay. And Rich Luzinski keeping track of the WJR traffic and weather first. It is Friday, April 24th. It's a good-looking day. Is the weather going to be nice for the weekend, Michael?
Yeah, I think it's going to cool off a bit, but I don't think we're supposed to get any rain until later on.
Okay.
We're supposed to get rain tomorrow, so it'll cool down.
That didn't take long.
No, I was faking it till I could pull up my my weather app.
Yes, the weather app. We all have it. But people still depend on WJR for last-second traffic and weather information. And our relentless positive radio is they're on their way to making each and every day count because, well, frankly, each day is a gift. And we know that. We just sometimes need little reminders, myself included. And the QTR, quality time remaining, that we don't know. We do not know. I do want to thank you for choosing to be an important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. Anytime you listen to WJR, that's what you're doing, including the great weekend. My goodness gracious, nobody has a weekend like WJR, and headed by, among other things, the inside outside guys that do so much for us. They've certainly helped me over the years, and you too. You can stream us from anywhere, you know. If you miss us, go back and podcast us, both at WJR.com and on the free WJR app. Right now, Facebook and YouTube pages are live streaming, so you can actually see what most of us look like. Although it looks as if Dominic Valentini might be in the witness protection program, because I don't see him on the screen right now.
No, somebody disconnected his camera, so we'll work on that.
That's a low blow, isn't it?
I know.
Talk about the way you get back at somebody.
They really told me I have a face for radio, I guess.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I've heard that only 5 million times all my life, and I have to say, I used to do a live television show every day. I did it in Toledo. I did it in New York. I used to fill in for Kelly and Company on Channel 7. It was the biggest show in television, for goodness sakes. Anyway.
I remember Kelly and Company.
I hate that expression. You have a face for radio. Yeah, well, you have an ass for... I don't have a good answer.
No, you don't have to dump that, Dominic.
No, because I'm talking about, mules.
Right.
And,
right.
They're in the Bible, for God's sakes. So I forgot to tell you this.
Oh?
Things that happen for your road warrior. Guess who I ran into at LaGuardia Airport? It's no way you can guess.
Tom Hanks.
No, I'll tell you, one local and one international national. The local is Zach Ahee from Ahee Jewelers.
Small world.
And I'm on a down escalator, and he's on an up escalator, and we're like looking at each other, and he's going, that looks like Paul W. Smith, and I'm going, that looks like Zach Ahee, and we're both going, what are they doing here at LaGuardia Airport?
Right. You guys could have given each other high five as you passed each other on the escalator. That would have been cool.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have. We were very far apart.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but it's like way far apart. Yeah. They're not like next to each other, like in a department store or something. But anyway, so I go, Zach? And he goes, Mr. Smith? Okay, Mr. Smith. I mean, does that make me feel old?
Right. Please call me Paul.
Zach since he was a little boy. John and Connie's little boy has grown up to be such a man and so good at what he does, following in his dad's footsteps. John Ahee. I mean, boy. So he was there doing watch business, doing training, because he's so good at everything he does. He's a fine University of Michigan graduate, and now he's back in the family business, Ahee Jewelers. Anyway, it was great. So meanwhile, I'm walking by the, the club, the Delta Club.
Right.
And who is walking out of the Delta Club being escorted, which made me jealous. I thought, whoa, I'm a somebody. Why aren't I being escorted? Well, Paul, you're not really a somebody. But anyway, so who walks out but Terry Bradshaw?
Really?
Yeah. So he must have been, where was the thing last night?
Pittsburgh, where he played.
So he was flying to Pittsburgh,
wow.
Obviously, because he walked out on stage last night at the NFL draft, and I thought, oh, I never even said to anybody.
Right.
Now I know where he was going. And so
probably has not paid for a meal in that town in a long, long time.
And nor should he.
Yeah.
Nor should you or me, but that's just not going to happen. We do pay for our meals. Anyway, so he walked out and he kind of startled me. And I went, oh, Terry Bradshaw. And I scared him. I didn't mean to, but he jumped.
Well, you don't expect to see the people from your TV live in person. That's a little bit startling.
No, and he kind of jumped, and I went, I'm sorry, Terry, I just said your name.
Right.
He goes, yeah, I know, but I wasn't expecting it. And I go, and he keeps walking, and I go, just wanted to say hi, Paul W. Smith from WJR Radio. He goes, oh, brother, Paul, how are you? And he comes back and he shakes my hand.
Wow.
And then he goes on his way. And Kim goes, I didn't know you knew him. And I didn't know I knew him either.
Right. He just knew you were a brother in broadcasting, probably.
I think that's what it was. And he was very nice about it. And so a woman standing in line there to go into the club said, I'm so glad you said that, because I thought that was Terry Bradshaw. And I go, yeah, I wasn't positive, but Kim was, and, told me. And she goes, and now I'm from Detroit. Now I know who you are. I go, oh, my gosh, this has been just a real special moment.
And now she's telling people about the time she ran into Paul W. Smith and Terry Bradshaw.
Well, I hope she included me with Terry Bradshaw, but he was very, very nice. And then, I totally forgot about it.
Well, a lot of times when you see famous people out in the wild, you don't think it's them. You just think it's somebody who looks like them.
Listen, I've seen my parish priest, back when I had a parish priest, my dentist or doctor. And when you see them out of where you always see them, whether it's church or the dental chair or wherever, it doesn't always register. I mean, for me, it just doesn't always register. I go, well, I know this person. Oh, yes, it's my mother. Oh, no.
It's like when you were a kid and you saw your teacher at the grocery store, like, wait, don't you live at the school 24 hours a day? What are you doing out?
You eat?
Yeah.
Or you'll run into him in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, you use a toilet?
Does the principal know you're here? Oh, well, that's a fun story.
Well, it was fun to see, and I'm just happy to say, because you never know, I'm happy to say he was just as nice as you would hope him to be. You know what I'm saying? The bigger stars, generally, I've found over these 60 years, the bigger stars generally are nicer than the medium or lower stars. The medium or lower stars, not always, but sometimes have kind of an attitude.
Right.
But the big stars, I don't think I ran into one big star, and she had a bad attitude, but that was a long story. That was backstage on Broadway, and I maybe one day I'll tell the story. Okay. What else? We're going to have to talk about this U.S. Special Forces soldier involved in the capture of the Venezuelan president, Maduro. He was a dictator, not really the elected president, but they want to rewrite these things. He's been arrested and charged for allegedly betting on the operation of the arrest or capture of Maduro on this thing called Polymarket, where it's another one of those things you can bet on anything.
Right. And I think this guy was involved.
He was involved.
Yeah.
He was involved in the capture, and he put a bet down, and he made $400,000. Now, look, I said this before, even knowing this story. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. The idea that we've monetized betting on everything is wrong. And this is a perfect example. I mean, what did he do wrong? What did he? Is it wrong if you bet on something when you know something about something? I mean, that's why people bet on stuff.
Yeah, I think this was because he used like classified info to make his bet or something.
$400,000.
Still
classified info. Classified, not classified.
You know, Paul,
Classified,
like you said,
it
incentivized him to capture Maduro because he didn't want to be out whatever his original bet was.
$400,000. But now he's in trouble. I don't like the idea of monetizing betting on everything. I just don't. Okay, that's it. Dominic Valentini, I promise you that won't be the first and only last time that I go long. So I'll turn it over to you at 12:15 on WJR. You know, when it comes to outdoor power equipment, you're never on your own. Since 1945, Weingart's customers and communities have trusted Weingart's for expert advice. That's a wise move. I know the family, they're great. They're so philanthropic, too. You've heard them on the air here before. That's why Weingart stands behind Exmark mowers. Now, Exmark mowers are built for professionals and trusted by homeowners who take pride in their lawn. Exmark is known for delivering exceptional cut quality and consistent results. With powerful engines, advanced cutting technology, and legendary build quality, Exmark mowers give you a cleaner, more even cut every time. It's the kind of performance and reliability that helps you get more done and leaves your lawn looking its best after every mow. From equipment, parts, repairs, and at-home service, Weingart's is there every step of the way. Stop by their stores where the Weingart's experts help you choose the right Exmark zero-turn mower for your lawn. Or, of course, you can visit them online right now at Weingarts.com, Weingartz, Weingarts.com, and now, especially during their anniversary event. That's right, their anniversary event is going on now. Expert solutions, honest value, easy ownership, and a great family. That's the Weingart's way. Find out for yourself. You will thank me. Weingart's. It is 12:17 at 760 WJR.
I'm here with Greg Ayler, host of Expedition Retirement. Greg, you say when you get near retirement, the issues become more complicated than just saving and investing, such as?
What's going to happen tax-wise to my IRA? What if my spouse goes into a long-term care facility? What if the market?
Auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Paul W. here for the Capitol Grill. Make this Mother's Day truly special this year. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., enjoy a 2-course chef-created classic brunch featuring indulgent choices like lobster frittata or a succulent center-cut filet mignon. Sip on a mimosa or Bloody Mary and start the day with freshly baked blueberry bread. Prefer something else? The Capitol Grill's full menu will be available from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., offering an array of mouth-watering options. Start with appetizers like the Jumbo Lump Crab Cocktail or indulge in a spectacular seafood tower. Follow that with hand-carved steaks, classic chops, an array of seafoods, including Capitol Grill's signature dishes. Whatever your choice, Mom is guaranteed an unforgettable dining experience with impeccable service. Mother's Day at the Capitol Grill. Call now while great seating is still available. Call 248-649-5300. 248-649-5300.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by America 250.
To celebrate America's 250th anniversary, we're coming together from coast to coast for star-spangled events, live performances, and the largest day of giving in American history. Join in at america250.org.
Accident blocks your right lane on M14 eastbound before Godfredson. We still have that wreck on Huron Parkway in both directions at Washtenaw Avenue, and steer clear of a crash on I-275 northbound at Will Carlton Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A few showers for the afternoon, a high of 74. Cloudy with showers for tonight, a low of 51. Overcast and cooler for Saturday with a high of 56. Partly cloudy for Sunday with a high of 63. Right now, it's mostly cloudy and 73 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, he's running for governor as an independent in the state of Michigan. Former Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan will join us. We'll get his take on how the campaign is going, where the polls are, and what his solutions are to some of the state's biggest problems. It's all coming up 2 o'clock, 760 WJR.
All ears listening, of course, to JR Afternoon with Ryan Armani and the great Mike Duggan, who, we thought he did a great job as mayor, and I think he'd do a great job at anything that he sets his mind to. That's my feeling. Nobody asked, but I'm telling you anyway. We continue with relentless positive radio and lots going on, and always like to speak to the Dean of News and Information, who's been with the great award-winning The Detroit News for 50 years, over 50 years, and he's only 37. Nolan Findley is the editorial page editor for the Detroit News, co-author of the Civility Book, A Guide to Building Bridges Across the Political Divide, by Nolan and his friend Stephen Henderson. They're friends. They don't agree politically, but they are friends. Lynn Goldner had a hand in helping him put that book together. Now, Nolan, it's a pleasure. I loved your column on Thursday. Well, wait a minute. Today's Friday. This was yesterday. It was so long ago. It was yesterday.
I've forgotten it too, Paul.
It's, as they say, it's a day-old news. It's old news. But no, this isn't. Michigan GOP rejoices over Democratic choices. And I read that, and, in a regular world that we used to know and could rely on, we would say that the people they chose are such fringe left-wing crazies that would hurt them. But I don't know that anymore.
No, I can't tell, can you?
No.
Because we've seen in recent elections around the country that this passionate left-wing fringe can get people elected. And, could happen here, although I got to believe the happiest person in the world about what went on at the Democratic convention last weekend is Mike Duggan, because he is running on or against partisan dysfunction. And boy, that was on full display at Huntington Center on Sunday.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And good for Mike Duggan. He's a brilliant man, and he could foresee that many, I don't know if this is the silent majority anymore. We used to use that term, but there are a lot of people out there that aren't dancing in the street or protesting or doing any number of things that can't believe how their party, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, have basically let them down at their expense to bolster their party and their politics. And I think he saw that before anybody. And even though people have criticized him, but wisely chose to go down the center and to be an independent. I think that was a brilliant move.
Well, I mean, and the parties aren't just fighting each other now; they're fighting within their own parties, and that we saw that Sunday as well, where you have the Hezbollah wing of the Democratic Party gaining.
Wait a second? Can you believe you just said that?
No, I can't. And particularly when I talk to so many Jewish voters who for decades were the heart and soul of the Democratic Party, saying, gosh, we don't know where we belong now. We don't know if there's a place for us in this party, because so much, there's such a strong undercurrent of anti-Semitism running through that party, and support for groups like Hezbollah, which is a terrorist group as declared by our own State Department, has committed tremendous atrocity against not only Israel and the Jewish people, but against America as well. And you have people up there at that convention who openly embrace Hezbollah. Abdul Sayed was up there. He has stood on the stage with Hassan Piker, a influencer, if you will, who has called Jews evil demons. How is that any different than David Duke? And would we even consider embracing a candidate who stood on a stage with David Duke? And, but that's where we are today in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and I want that to sink in, friends. The Hezbollah wing of the Democrat Party. Oh, my God. All right. Very quickly, a very bizarre story, and this is what you get, which is why I've said it from the beginning. These prediction markets like Kalshi and I don't even know what other ones, they suspended 3 congressional candidates for betting on their own races. Don't you bet on yourself? Wouldn't that be the smart and right thing to do? Be that as it may, we got a soldier who made $400,000 by betting on the capture of Maduro, and he was in on the force that captured him. And so he placed a bet and he made $400,000, and now he's in trouble. You're reaping what you sow, or you're sowing what you reap, one or the other.
This gambling has gone out of control. I mean,
out of control.
Gambling over everything. And the danger here is that if you've got a guy who's helping plan an operation, which apparently this soldier was, and has a role in executing it, what would keep him from manipulating the planning and the execution to benefit his betting line? And I mean, this is just shocking to see, but you can bet on anything, today, with these predictive markets. I'm not that familiar with them, but I know I could bet, will Paul W. Smith say relentless positive action in the 9 o'clock hour and or radio, I mean, and go from there. I mean,
well, don't bet on me saying it. Don't bet on me saying it in the 9 o'clock hour, because I'm no longer up by 9.
That's right. I would have lost that bet, wouldn't I, Paul?
But it's like Nolan Finley betting what'll be on the front page of the Detroit News tomorrow.
Right.
And of course, they say you can't use inside information. Everybody who's betting on all these other markets has inside information, or they wouldn't be betting.
And it's going to create some real problems, addiction problems in our country. I mean, gambling is as dangerous a disease as alcoholism and drug addiction. People get hooked on it and ruin their lives. And this is tremendous amount of money going into these betting apps that aren't going to productive use in our economy.
Are betting apps licensed or controlled by anybody?
I assume there's some control. I mean, Paul, but I don't really know. I mean, I guess they have to get licenses and all that, but I don't think anybody's setting rules. I guess there are a few rules about what you can put.
Well, the betting apps themselves have their own rules, but that's like the fox guarding the hen house.
Yeah, and you've got people out there betting on what Trump's going to do next. I mean, that seems to be a very risky proposition, because I'm not sure he even knows.
Yeah, he might even be betting,
That would not surprise me at all.
Or his sons are betting, saying, well, I don't have any inside information. Dad?
But that's where we're, that's the extreme here, and it's not necessarily facetious. And our sports industry and our teams, collegiate and professional, are at great risk here because the money is so huge. And we've had some athletes, including some Detroit athletes, who've been charged with using inside information to place bets and even to shave points and what have you.
Yeah.
This is going to be negative influence on our society.
Absolutely.
As if we needed one more.
Yeah, that's right. As if we needed one more negative influence on our society. God bless you. Always a pleasure. Nolan Finley, editorial page editor for the Detroit News, co-author of the Civility Book, a guide to building bridges across the political divide. It should be a must reading for anybody. For all of us, we should pick it up and read the book by Nolan Finley, Stephen Henderson, and Lynn Goldner. You got a big weekend planned, my friend?
I think I'll mulch, Paul. That's
Right,
what
you
old
go
guys
mulch.
do,
We'll talk to you later. We continue on WJR. Oh, yes, it's Friday, so Automotive Views brought to you by Bridgestone, Team Coletti, David Coletti and his team. No matter what the next generation of mobility will be, it'll be on wheels, and Bridgestone will be there. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Here's Mike Martinez.
It's been over 7 months now since a fire disrupted production at a key aluminum supplier for Ford Motor Company, and the automaker is still reeling. Dealers are starting to run low on F-150, aka the nation's best-selling vehicle. Data firm Catalyst IQ found that inventory's fallen 43% since the September fire, all but wiping out Ford's commanding supply lead over its rivals in the white-hot full-size pickup segment. One dealer, who usually has around 70 trucks on his lot this time of year, told me he's down to 9. Ford's racing to boost production and added a shift at its Dearborn truck plant. It hopes to build an extra 50,000 pickups this year to make up for the supply disruptions. The automaker has told its retail network to expect inventories to start to tick back up as early as next month, with stocks stabilizing in the back half of the year. It's not quite a full-blown crisis, but it's certainly turned into a much more complicated and lengthy headache than anyone imagined. With this week's Automotive View, I'm Mike Martinez with Automotive News.
People say we should live in the present, but that doesn't mean we can't drive toward a brighter future. That's why Bridgestone is focused on positively impacting the next generation by developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. Because getting people down the road matters, but getting future generations down the road, that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
Spring is here, and so are the savings at Clarkston Window and Door. This month, get 37% off installed replacement windows, plus 0% financing for 15 months. You heard that right, 37% off, 0% financing for 15 months. And Clarkston is even giving you free exterior color on top of all that. Call Clarkston Window and Door today or visit us online.
We sell, we install, that's right, we do it all. Clarkston Window and Door.
Hi friends, Bill Golling here, and all year long we're celebrating 60 years at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This month, Chrysler employees with loyalty can lease a 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for only $269 a month. Leases for 27 months, 10,000 miles a year with 2,000 down, with only tax title plates being extra. All Rams also come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. That's Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or our newest location on Mack in Detroit, or always at Gowling.com.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
WJR and the Detroit Economic Club are pleased to present Economic and Automotive Industry Outlook for the U.S. and our region, Thursday, April 30th at the Masonic Temple. Join PNC Bank's Gus Foucher and Mike Nickers for an engaging discussion on the economic outlook, alongside Mike Wall of S&P Global Mobility, who will offer industry insight into the automotive sector and its role in shaping the regional economy. Catch Focus, noon till 2, as we broadcast live special coverage sponsored by DFCU Financial. For tickets and more information, visit econclub.org.
Boss, what's wrong?
Wrong?
You sound happy.
I am happy, Jones. Ever since we joined Trade First.
TradeFirst.com.
Business has really picked up. Other trade members have been calling in orders, even referring clients to us.
Plus, it's springtime. Sunshine, flowers, birds chirping. It's glorious.
Forget the birds, Jones. I'm talking new customers. Power marketing.
Increased cash flow.
And you know how much I love cash.
I told you, boss. With TradeFirst.com, we can market directly to thousands of member companies. Plus, we can use our trade dollars to buy advertising, entertain clients, order office equipment.
Well then, get someone in here to fix this air conditioner. It'll be summer before you know it.
Ah, summer. Mint juleps, floppy hats, Bermuda shorts.
There you go.
Thousands of local Michigan businesses are growing through the Trade First Barter Network. Go to TradeFirst.com and watch a quick video to see trade in action. TradeFirst.com or call 248-544-1350. Get going. Start growing. TradeFirst.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Catch up with Dave Llewellyn on his podcast, now available on WJR.com.
Pamela Good, co-founder of Beyond Basics, Literacy. How big a problem is it?
There are a lot of things that have snuck up on us. And one of those is when the universities decided to do away with phonics. Mm-hmm. And when they did that, they really took out the foundational components of that. You know, most people believe that America's foundation of education is still reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Supposed to be, right?
It is now whole language, no cursive, and new math.
Yeah. The Dave Llewellyn Podcast. Go to WJR.com/Llewellyn. That's WJR.com/LEW Llewellyn.
And now, WJR is proud to present Rieger Reviews It.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Featuring film critic Dave Rieger.
Suddenly, Dave has a great job.
Sponsored by Wiggly's.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yes, indeed. Dave finally has a really, really good job. And as you know, Riga Reviews It is sponsored by Wigley's famous Eastern Market corned beef. Check out the Royal Diner in Clarkston this weekend. They've been serving up Wigley's corned beef for 30 years and have perfected the classic Reuben and corned beef hash. Feeling like breakfast? Corned beef omelet as it is. Get some Wigley's corned beef at the Royal Diner on Dixie Highway in Clarkston. The Royal Diner on Dixie Highway in Clarkston. And I'm going to tell you, I've got some Wigley's corned beef waiting to be eaten in my fridge as we speak. Hello, Dave. It is a pleasure to have you on board because this means it's Friday and there's some movies in theaters and movies that we can watch at home. Nice to have you here.
Paul, how are you?
I'm excellent. I am excellent. In New York this past week, I went by a Broadway show on Michael Jackson, and now there's a film in theaters on Michael Jackson.
The highly anticipated Michael is out, and coming some not so great reviews, but I will tell you that I thoroughly loved the movie. It reminded me of my youth. I'm a child of the 80s. It starts off with his father forming the Jackson 5, and then what he had to deal with his dad, and then breaking off and going solo, and Beat It, Thriller, and everything that was Michael Jackson. And I came out of the movie feeling much like I felt with Top Gun Maverick.
Really?
Like, I just loved it. It was just like a trip down memory lane. Very well done. Great music, obviously. The story. I was alive when all this went down.
Well, the Jackson 5 in the 60s, all the way through the 80s and the Bad Tour.
Yeah.
And to know that that Michael Jackson is being played by his nephew, I guess.
Yes, it's Jermaine's son, Jafar Jackson. He was fantastic. And he looks and sounds just like Michael, from what I understand. Some of the music was Michael's and some of the music was his, and they kind of combined it. And
interesting.
It was just, some movies you just have to go in, and even though you know the story, you just take the movie for what it gives you. And it was just a great feeling of just nostalgia. And we know that nostalgia sells. And I thought it was just fantastic.
Michael is in theaters. Let's take a listen.
I love my family, but I just want to do my own thing. Just have all these ideas in my head. Just got to get them out.
Then do it, Michael. Not a little boy anymore.
People always told me, be careful what you do.
Michael, I knew you were different the moment you were born. You have a very special life.
And mother always told me, be careful who you love.
I believe music could change the world. Spread love, joy, and peace. That is what I want the world to feel. Magic.
Sounds powerful and magical. And anyone who thinks they're going to go and see the dark side of some of the things Michael Jackson went through, that is not going to be there, is it?
No, it stops during the Bad Tour. And there is talk about a second part. And if that does get made, then they will have some stuff to deal with. But this was just, if you take it for just being a fan of Michael Jackson and just forgetting how big he was. I mean, you know how big Taylor Swift is today?
Yeah.
And if there was social media back then, I mean, he was I give it 4 Wigglies, and I just walked out of there feeling like, wow, I just went through a time machine back to when I was a kid. And I remember my dad letting my brother and I stay up late to watch the premiere of Thriller on MTV late at night when they premiered it. I mean, it's just great.
This had an impact on you, didn't
Yeah, it was great. Like I said, just the same feeling that I got with Top Gun Maverick. It was just great.
That's astonishing. And I've got a Top Gun Maverick story coming up in a minute if we have time. 4 Wigglies And be sure to pick some up at the Royal Diner on Dixie Highway in Clarkston. Let's listen to the show you can watch from home on Netflix on Hulk Hogan.
In wrestling, you should be remembered from all the wars you've been and everything you've done. Look at this! I can't believe it! Some people hate me, but after I'm gone, I think people don't know the truth. Who was this guy really? That's the hardest part, standing up. I really was here for a reason more than just wrestling.
The fans liked believing Hulk was Superman.
Is it art? Is it fakery? What is it?
Oh, there she goes. 1, 2, kick out. Life was so clear. Where did that life go? The mistakes shone through.
Most of us think of Hulk Hogan as the king of the ring. But was there a sinister side to his success?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, this is an interesting documentary, a 4-part series about Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. And if you're a wrestling fan, everybody knows, Hulk Hogan. It starts with his rise in Florida, into the Hulkamania, when he became huge in the 80s, and WrestleMania 3 right here at the Pontiac Silverdome when he slammed Andre the Giant, and then over to when he turned heel at WCW, my favorite part of Hulk Hogan, the Hollywood Hogan persona. And then it ends with kind of after wrestling ended and his high-profile divorce.
He was very, he needed money.
The Gawker sex tape scandal. Yeah.
Very weak. He had to have his son at the end open his water bottles. He
Correct.
couldn't even twist the bottle.
Yeah,
It's sad.
And his last interview before he passed away, and they have it. They follow him around in 2025. And so it's very well done. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I was a wrestling fan in the 90s with WCW and when he was with the NWO. And that was my favorite part of Hulk Hogan, when he was the bad guy. And unfortunately, he had some demons at the end.
That's too bad. How many wigglies do you give it?
I definitely give it 3 wigglies. I think they did a very nice job talking about just his life. And whether or not you love the guy or whether or not you hate the guy, you can't argue that he was, when you think professional wrestling, you think Hulk Hogan.
He was huge. By the way, you just reminded me, I was at the airport after Andre the Giant had his fight here in Detroit, and I flew with Andre the Giant.
Did you?
Yeah. And he really was a giant. And I went to shake his hand, and I swear to God, I couldn't find my hand. His hand was so big that I stuck my hand there to shake his hand, and I went, where'd my hand go?
I also met Hogan at an airport one time as he was going to be flying to Texas, and just what a great guy. He was just super nice.
He always seemed to be a great, very nice guy.
Yeah.
And by the way, Andre the Giant was too. And my quick story about Top Gun, this year, that iconic action drama became 40 years old.
Yes.
The movie that put Tom Cruise in superstardom, Top Gun, one of your favorites, that you compared it to the Michael Jackson thing, 40 years ago this year, along with Crocodile Dundee, Aliens, Platoon, the list goes on and on.
Yes,
40 years.
And they are re-releasing for a limited time Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick in the theaters. So you can go watch both of them again coming up.
Thanks to the Royal Diner on Dixie Highway in Clarkston, and always thanks to Wiggly's Corned Beef. They're the best. There is no question. Wiggly's famous Eastern Market corned beef. And speaking of the best, Dave Rieger, who's finally found a good job, and he does it with us right here on WJR. Thanks, David.
See you, Paul.
I'm looking forward to seeing Top Gun on the big screen again. That is just a phenomenal film. I cannot believe that this year marks its 40th anniversary. Wow. Hey, spring into pain-free life. Thanks to Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute and his non-surgical, non-invasive treatments for severe and chronic back, neck, and knee pain. Intra-disc neutrosis helps people with spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, sciatica pain, and degenerative disc disease avoid spine surgery. And Knee Restore RX helps those with osteoarthritis, meniscus tears, and muscle strains avoid knee replacement without shots, pills, or downtime. Now, here are some real words from a real patient, and I quote, "I had an L5-S1 disc bulge that I've had since my early 20s and would be limping every time I played pickleball. A coach said his back was fixed without surgery by Dr. Sal Kogan. So I started getting treatments. And after 2 months, I am pain-free." This man goes on to say, "The results are nothing short of miraculous." End of quote. Right now, mention WJR in this great month of April and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. Mention WJR at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. Call them at 586-416-DISC, 586-416-DISC, DISC, or 586-416-3472, 586-416-3472, the Nerve and Disc Institute. You're going to love Dr. Sal Kogan. You're going to love his team, and you're going to love how they can help you feel better. Mention WJR. It is 12:50 at 760 WJR. Paul W. here for the Capitol Grill. Make this Mother's Day truly special this year. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., enjoy a 2-course chef-created classic brunch featuring indulgent choices like lobster frittata or a succulent center-cut filet mignon. Sip on a mimosa or Bloody Mary and start the day with freshly baked blueberry bread. Prefer something else? The Capitol Grill's full menu will be available from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., offering an array of mouth-watering options. Start with appetizers like the Jumbo Lump Crab Cocktail or indulge in a spectacular seafood tower. Follow that with hand-carved steaks, classic chops, an array of seafoods, including Capitol Grill's signature dishes. Whatever your choice, Mom is guaranteed an unforgettable dining experience with impeccable service. Mother's Day at the Capitol Grill. Call now while great seating is still available. Call 248-649-5300. 248-649-5300.
In the heart of Michigan, voice rings true. Perry Johnson coming, he's got work to do. Conservative leader, just like the best. No hold bar, he's ready for the test. Quality of pitches, see that's his game. Cut through the play, call him out the name. Crooked politicians led us astray. Perry's on a mission, he's here to stay. Perry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough. 47, give us room to grow. From the field to the city, give people cheer. With Perry in the lead, yeah, we got nothing to fear.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson for governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
It's the Inside Outside Guys. Time for your home's annual checkup.
Start by checking your roof for missing shingles. Make sure downspouts are moving water away from your foundation.
And don't forget to inspect all that caulking around your windows and doors. Small gaps can mean big energy losses.
For the area's most trusted contractors to help you with your next home project, visit guys at InsideOutsideGuys.com. That's InsideOutsideGuys.com.
Sponsored by Space Stars Deck Builders.
Let's face it, most deck companies cut corners, not Space Stars. Their corners are built as tight as a clamshell, and their Space Lift building system ensures customers get a stunning and freakishly long-lasting deck every time. Tired of sanding and staining your deck or looking to upgrade your home's outer space? Bring in the experts trusted by thousands of Michigan homeowners. Book a free design consultation today with Space Stars Deck Builders and get 50% off installation when you mention Inside Outside Guys. Visit callspacestars.com. That's callspacestars.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
It's Car Care Month, and Summit Racing has what you need for bumper-to-bumper care. Revive the interior, exterior, underhood, and more. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 3rd, 2026.
An accident blocks your right lane on M14 eastbound before Godfredson, and we've got a multi-vehicle crash on Huron Parkway in both directions at Washtenaw Avenue. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A few showers for the afternoon, a high of 74. Cloudy with showers for tonight, a low of 51. Overcast and cooler for Saturday with a high of 56. Partly cloudy Sunday, a high of 63. Right now, mostly cloudy, 72 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, so you never know what people are going to respond and react to. A lot of response and reaction to Andre the Giant. Keith Newell writing, Andre the Giant could only get 2 fingers in the handle of his briefcase. Then Jim Miller, one of my mentors at WVMO in Monroe, where my career began many years ago, he said, I was there when Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant. It was unbelievable. Who would have guessed? A little piece from the movie review, and Andre the Giant would be out there. Here's a great story. Gives you an idea why I like Ed Bastian so much. He is certainly the best president and CEO of an airline anywhere. Our local airline, Delta, the official airline of the Paul W. Smith Show, and my family. Delta Airlines, because of Ed Bastian's brilliance, expects a $300 million boost from its Pennsylvania oil refinery this quarter as jet fuel prices surge globally, giving the carrier a significant advantage over competitors scrambling to manage soaring costs. When the airline bought a refinery in Pennsylvania, people were scratching their heads and saying, what in the heck is going on here? A lot of head scratching. But now people understand the genius of Ed Bastian and of Delta Airlines. Can you imagine, Mike? They bought their own refinery. What a brilliant move.
Yeah, talk about foresight.
This guy is incredible. Ed Bastian is really something. There's no question about it. It's why I think he's made Delta the best airline in the world and continues to, and that's why we call it the official airline of the Paul W. Smith Show and of the Paul W. Smith family, and we live by that. We fly Delta whenever it is possible. Hour number 2 coming up, the Paul W. Smith in Focus at WJR.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Here's Ryan Goldberg, President and CEO of DFCU Financial.
At DFCU, our credit union is all about our members and the community. We're not just focused on numbers and metrics, but we are focused on doing the right thing for our communities. That's why we pay back earnings to our members through a very popular cashback program.
How about small business owners? How do they benefit from being with DFCU?
Our business and commercial banking teams bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to benefit you. By understanding your unique financial needs, our team can deliver tailored lending solutions, deposit, and treasury management. Working with DFCU means you'll have access to decision makers and benefit from speed to market. We're in a strong liquidity position, and that means we have money to lend and the willingness to lend it. Business lenders often have a box that customers must fit into. We don't work that way.
Some restrictions apply. Visit dfcufinancial.com for details. DFCU Financial is an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Time to get in the boat. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. That's the message from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to leaders in Europe and Asia about the fight with Iran.
Europe and Asia have benefited from our protection for decades, but the time for free riding is over. America and the free world deserve allies who are capable, who are loyal.
And Hegseth made the remarks as the U.S. and Iran continue their tug of war over the Strait of Hormuz. Central Command announced today that for the first time in decades, 3 U.S. aircraft carriers are operating in the Middle East at the same time. Meantime, Iran's state media say the country's top diplomat will travel to Pakistan today in preparation for another round of peace talks. The path appears clear for new leadership at the Federal Reserve. Fox's Jenny Cosola explains.
The Department of Justice has dropped the criminal probe of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell into construction cost overruns at the Fed complex. Ending the probe of Powell clears the way for confirmation of Kevin Warsh, President Trump's choice to succeed Powell in May, when Powell's term as Fed chair ends. Warsh's confirmation had been held up by Senator Tom Tillis, who opposed the Powell investigation.
A federal judge already ruled that the grand jury subpoenas served on the Fed in January were improper. Well, the U.S. and EU may not be cooperating on the war, but they signed an agreement today to collaborate on critical minerals that are needed for key industries, including defense. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
This shows a growing awareness and commitment throughout the world, particularly with our allies in the West and in Europe. The importance of supply chains and critical minerals to the success of our economies and to our national security, for that matter.
And this comes as Washington prioritizes security and independence from China. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
Construction blocking your left lane on I-75 southbound at the Jeffries. Steer clear of a wreck on Huron Parkway in both directions. That's at Washtenaw Avenue. That's a multi-vehicle accident. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A few showers this afternoon, a high of 74. Cloudy with showers for tonight, a low of 51. Overcast and cooler for Saturday with a high of 56. Partly cloudy for Sunday with a high of 63. Right now, mostly cloudy and 73 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Overcoming adversity, staying positive, and giving back to the world we live in defines the Denise Illich Show. This week, Denise sits down with Colleen Pober, who serves as Michigan Chief of Staff for Congresswoman Haley Stevens. Colleen and Denise will shine a light on public service, what great leadership looks like, cultural building, both of their fathers, and sports. Listen Saturday, 4 p.m. to the Denise Illich Show, sponsored by the Secure Financial Group on the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR. Two pianos dueling for a cause. Join us Saturday, May 9th at Elevate at One Campus Martius for Keys for Cancer. An unforgettable evening of high energy, dueling pianos, laughter, friendship, and all with a purpose. Hot Pink Helpers provides financial and emotional support for our families, friends, and neighbors facing cancer when they need it the most. Dueling for a Cause, Saturday, May 9th. Find your tickets today at hotpinkhelpers.com.
You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, it's hour number 2 on this Friday, and there's just something. I love doing what I do. I miss it when I'm not doing it, but I still like Friday. I mean, because Friday is Friday. There's something ingrained in our heads. Marie has referred to it, Marie Osborne, as Fry-yay.
As the kids say, Paul, it hits different.
Is that what the kids say now?
Yeah, it's different.
Friday, it hits different. It's unlikely that I'm going to start saying that. But that being the case, we do have the team. You can watch us on Facebook and YouTube pages live streaming right now from anywhere in the country or the world. We appreciate that. You can stream us. Also, you can come back and podcast us, and it does matter, at WJR.com. And I do hope you have the free WJR app. Well, you're right now on your way to making each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And because she's listening, I remind us that Kim reminds us about QTR, quality time remaining. We don't know how much we have. Make the most of it. And I do thank you for choosing to be a part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio. And that's not just for this show. It's for whenever you listen to this great radio station, WJR, including over this great weekend we have with, well, so many great shows. I mention the Inside Outside guys because they're the ones I hear a lot, and I broadcast with them on location for Victors and other stuff. But we have all kinds of great shows across the board here on WJR all weekend long. By the way, it's our pleasure to follow right after Kevin Dietz when you get your daily dose of Dietz on All Talk. And then, of course, coming up after me, JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermani. Always lots to talk about. Let's see, I mentioned I ran into Terry Bradshaw at LaGuardia.
We're learning a lot about who you've run into at various airports today.
Well, because I've run into a lot of people. And I don't get to talk about them until they came. That's the
right. They come up in conversation
because we were talking about the Hulk Hogan movie, and he talked about Andre the Giant. Dave Rieger said it just, it rings a bell. There are bells ringing that only I can hear, which I'm not going to a doctor for. This story about China still stealing our intellectual property. I've only been railing about that for 25. I don't know. I was in China at an international auto show, and Rick Wagner was running GM at the time. And I said, Rick, what are you going to do? I mean, out on the floor of this show on one of the China Motors, I don't know who it was, Cherry, I don't remember what the company was. They had a Chevrolet Impala, but they called it like the Chevrolet Deer.
Right, the Gazelle or something.
Chevrolet Gazelle. But they clearly bought a Chevrolet Impala, tore it apart, completely stole our intellectual property and built it and called it their own. And I said, Rick, what are you going to do? And he goes, well, I don't know. I have to look at that and I'll speak to the Chinese government. I went, Rick, it's the Chinese government that's doing this.
Right.
They're giving their blessing. Well,
tell us about your other plans so we make sure to avoid them.
My other what?
They would say to Rick, tell us about your other plans for other cars so we make sure not to steal them.
Yeah, right. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right. It is, by the way, National Pigs in a Blanket Day. Now, I see Dominic Valentini is now on camera with his, what kind of a cap do you call that?
I've always just called it a flat cap.
Flat cap. It kind of looks British. It looks like you're from Scotland.
Like the old Newsies.
The old Newsies. And you have a beard that might make you look like a leprechaun.
Well, the hat I actually did pick up while I was in Ireland.
Well, see, it's uncanny.
That's what I get for being Irish, I guess.
You started that beard in Ireland, and I look at you and say, it kind of reminds me of a leprechaun.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
good for
it
you.
does. It's
Good
very
for you.
red for
I'm
the
gonna
people
put you-
listening.
I don't mean to embarrass you, but your face is getting red. So, do you know what a pig in a blanket is?
Oh, yeah.
Love pigs in a blanket.
One of my favorite hors d'oeuvres to have at a party.
Those little hot dogs wrapped in a wonderful little pastry. Pastry,
Yeah, like
is pastry the
a
right
biscuit
word?
or something.
A biscuit or one of those things. Remember, you hit the corner of the container and it pops open, and you have all that little stuff that you throw in the oven, and you pretend you made them from scratch. All right, wait a minute. I'm off kilter here, which is not unusual for me. I do have some folks standing by. They're wondering, is this a cooking show that we're on? No, it is not a cooking show. It's the Paul W. Smith Focus Show. And we welcome Stephen Blackwell, who's portraying Sam Phillips, and Chris Blissett, a music director, playing Brother Jay in $1 Million Quartet, a wonderful show running at Meadowbrook Theater through May 17th. Stephen and Chris, welcome to the program. Stephen, you speak first so I can know what your voice is.
Hey, Paul, thank you so much for having us.
Nice to have you here. Chris, let's hear from you.
Hey, this is me. I'm here. Thanks for having us, brother.
All right. Nice to have you here. Somebody, I'll start with Stephen. Tell us what the $1 Million Quartet is all about.
$1 Million Quartet is a musical that's based on a true story. On December 4th, 1956, at Sun Records in Memphis, 4 of the greatest rock and roll stars were in attendance and actually made some recordings. Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. So in our show, those are our 4 top characters, and you get to hear some of the greatest songs that they've ever made.
How cool is that? It's kind of, so it's, I guess I would say kind of like an historic jam session.
That's a perfect
That's
way to
almost
phrase
exactly what it was. Yes, there was an actual recording session going on, and when Sam Phillips, the character I play, who started Sun Records, once he realized that he had these titans there, he made sure that he was rolling the tape. And the story that we tell on Meadowbrook stage is what happened during that day, what was exactly going on with contracts and maybe some secrets and some drama that was unfolding. And it's really just an absolutely dynamic story with an amazing, amazing cast of just actor musicians. Absolutely wonderful.
Well, Stephen Blackwell and Chris, am I saying your last name correctly? Blissett?
Blissett, but don't say it too much. I have a warrant out in this state. So.
Finally, an honest actor. The fact that you, as the music director, playing Brother Jay in $1 Million Quartet, which is this day in 1956 when Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Elvis Presley held what would be called an impromptu jam session that would go down in history. Knowing our history as Motown, even though this isn't Motown music we're talking about, there's I would think, a great deal of interest in anybody who cares at all about music and history will want to get out to Meadowbrook Theater and see this thing.
I should hope so. I mean, Detroit has an incredible history with American music, and this is part of that story. It just happens to be the music that came out of Memphis instead of Detroit. But it's about American music. It's about some of the American legends. And I got to tell you, I have the best job in Detroit right now because every day I wake up, go to work, and I watch the best band I've ever been in play my favorite songs in history.
How great is that? And for you,
It's a
Stephen
good
Blackwell,
gig.
for you portraying Sam Phillips, a lot of people don't know the importance of Sam Phillips behind the scenes in all of this.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of that from the audience of the actual historical facts that we are telling about Sam Phillips, about how he started Sun Records, and even with some of the characters. For example, Carl Perkins, there's a point in the show where he gets a little upset at Elvis because Elvis recorded Blue Suede Shoes, and it was Carl Perkins who actually wrote that song. Wow. And not a lot of people know that.
No. Well, again, for anybody who cares about any kind of music, this looks like the show you're going to want to see to be informed and, more importantly, entertained by these fine actors. Call the Meadowbrook Theater box office at 248-377-3300, 248-377-3300. You can go online, too, to Ticketmaster.com. There are student discounts available at the box office. The large groups can get some discounts also. Just get yourself there through May 17th at the Meadowbrook Theater. $1 Million Quarter. Am I saying that $1 Million Quarter?
Quartet.
Yeah. Quartet. There's no T. It just says $1 Million Quarter on my paper here. So it's $1 Million Quartet, which makes a lot more sense. Stephen Blackwell portraying Sam Phillips. Chris Blissett, the music director, playing Brother Jay in $1 Million Quartet. Gentlemen, thanks so much. Have fun.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, Paul.
It's our pleasure. Get to the Meadowbrook box office at 248-377-3300 or online. You can get your tickets through Ticketmaster.com. Sounds like a lot of fun as we continue in focus on WJR.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? You want to think of this as being your money. But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And these taxes, well, they could be a lot higher than you know. Learn how you could reduce or potentially eliminate these taxes with a free retirement tax savings analysis. It's from the Brzezinski Group, a second-generation financial advisory firm right here in Metro Detroit. If you've saved at least $250,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 800-641-3361. This free analysis could save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes in retirement. Call 800-641-3361. That's 800-641-3361. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Firm does not provide legal or tax advice.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
WJR and the Detroit Economic Club present our 6th annual Rising Stars campaign. Sponsored by Awcom and DFCU Financial. We're on a mission to spotlight some incredible young leaders under 40 who are driving innovation and making a real difference in their respective industries and within our vibrant communities. Do you know an inspiring individual, a game changer who deserves recognition for their outstanding achievements? Tell us their story, highlight their impact, and help us honor Detroit's next generation of leaders. The deadline for nominations is May 22nd. Details at WJR.com/Rising Stars. When it comes to keeping your job site safe and your gear ready to work, Skyworks Equipment Rental has you covered. Right now, get an annual equipment inspection for just $99 plus any applicable taxes. Upon inspection, any needed parts or labor will be quoted before it begins. No surprises, just reliability. Mention WJR's Inside Outside guys to lock in this special offer. Visit Skyworks-ReliableRentals.com. That's Skyworks-ReliableRentals.com and keep your equipment working as hard as you do this spring.
Hennion & Walsh was made for people like you. People who value speaking to the right people at the right time. That's why we answer the phone ourselves, to understand you and help you invest for the life you want, because you've earned it. We're Henyon and Walsh, and a human connection. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Michigan is building. The construction trade unions of the Michigan Building and Construction Trades Council and their employer partners at Must Construction Careers are looking for qualified, motivated applicants for apprenticeship opportunities. Earn while you learn and graduate debt-free. Construction skilled trade careers include great wages, benefits, and retirement. Learn more about construction skilled trades apprenticeships by visiting mustcareers.org. MUST careers.org. Management and unions serving together.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you price custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weingarts. When you think about equipment that's built to last, John Deere is always at the top of the list. You'll find them at Weingarts, where they stand behind what they sell. Visit Weingarts.com to learn more. That's the Weingarts way. Watch out for a wreck on Telegraph Road southbound at Ford Road. We've also got a multi-vehicle crash on Huron Parkway in both directions at Washtenaw Avenue. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A few showers for the afternoon, a high of 74. Cloudy with showers for tonight, a low of 51. Overcast and cooler for Saturday with a high of 56. Partly cloudy for Sunday, a high of 63. Right now, mostly cloudy and 73 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and Weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
You need more than just a great lawyer. You need a great team. And only Femininio Law has the accident response team. We're out there working on day one to get your life back and to get you paid. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Coming up Monday on JR Morning, we're breaking down the Lions draft picks and getting you the latest on the Pistons and Orlando. Plus, we'll catch you up on the situation with the U.S. and Iran war and everything else you need to start your day. Tune in Monday, 6 to 9 a.m. on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app.
Well, there's been some good and positive news out there as Israel and Lebanon agree to extend their ceasefire, and not by just a little, but we hear by 3 weeks. And President Donald Trump announcing that on his social media. He was in the meeting. He said the meeting went very well. The United States is going to work with Lebanon in order to help it protect itself from Hezbollah. And the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon will be extended by 3 weeks, as we say. So we thought we'd check in with Peter Meyer. Peter Meyer is a former congressman and Army veteran, and he has lots to say. He's got lots of opinions, and he doesn't hold back. Congressman Meyer, always a pleasure, sir.
It's a pleasure to be on. Thank you.
So this is maybe a series of the most bizarre ways we've ever been in battle, to me. And the way it's discussed in social media before any other way is still hard for me to get used to.
And it's doubly challenging because it's hard to account for the sequence. You know, something will happen in the real world. It'll get disseminated through one channel. It'll get disseminated through, social media. But the timing between those and the relation that has to whatever happened next is incredibly hard to disentangle. So from an observer standpoint, I sympathize.
Well, I appreciate that because you're a learned observer. You've got a lot more experience in these areas than we do. And also, it just seems to me that there have been so many people that are in our military that we never hear about, but then we hear about them getting fired.
Yes. So obviously we had the Secretary of the Navy
Most
you know, kind of
recently.
whether he was, you know, forced to resign or not. You know, obviously he's not in the chain of command. It's more of an administrative position, setting long-term priorities on procurement and whatnot. And he serves underneath the Secretary of Defense. You know, we've certainly seen in the past month or so probably some of the most significant transitions of this administration. I think some of that is just, you know, in a normal course of activities, you know, it's rare for one person to be in a role for the entirety of administration. You know, obviously having 3 cabinet level officials, you know, resign or be fired within the last month, the Secretary of Labor, the head of the Justice Department, the Attorney General, and then also the Secretary of Homeland Security have all departed the administration within the last month. I will say those are kind of more significant transitions, but also most properly understood, an administration that's looking towards the midterm, you know, has enough of a track record to go back and say, okay, what's working well, what isn't working well, where do we want to make adjustments, you know, and kind of how do we want to position ourselves, you know, for the last 2.5 years of this administration. On the DoD side of the house, there have been some significant transitions in terms of title, but none of that has too much of a bearing on the conflict. And then I think in every case, you're kind of looking at prior existing frictions. With the Secretary of the Navy, it was issues around the speed of the shipbuilding program. And so nothing that's happened on the personnel side to me really stands out, especially at the Pentagon.
Former Congressman, Army veteran Peter Meyer with us, and he always has an interesting point of view based on all the information that he has and his own life experiences. You know, it's hard when you keep hearing about people getting fired and the president gives them a glowing review on the way out. He told reporters that yesterday that the now former Navy Secretary John Phelan was, quote, a wonderful guy, but he had trouble getting along with others. What? Okay. He's a hard charger, and he had some conflicts with some other people, the president said. You got to get along, especially in the military.
Mm-hmm. And I think in that case, he's referring to, you know, frictions with, you know, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, which had been pretty widely communicated. You know, Phelan had a personal relationship with Donald Trump, and yet in his direct line of support, he reports to the Secretary of Defense. And so if somebody, if you're subordinate, if you perceive them going around you, or not necessarily taking orders from you, you know, that can obviously create some friction in those dynamics. And it's not surprising that the President Trump is saying nice things on the way out. I mean, it's these folks aren't getting fired for, you know, for grievous issues. It's no real bad blood. It's just, hey, you know what? We need somebody in this role who's going to be able to, you know, report and kind of take orders from, you know, their immediate superior. And if things aren't working out after a period of time, you part ways. It doesn't necessarily mean there's bad blood. It just means that they're looking for somebody else in that role.
Yeah, and they, of course, these days have to make it clear that the Navy Secretary was not fired for betting on anything on one of those betting apps, which now... that whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, it can be such an easy way for the adversary to try to figure out, you know, what we're doing if folks are making those bets. I will say, when Donald Trump is kind of reserved and polite about things, it feels like that makes more headlines, you know, than when he kind of issues a scathing rebuke. It's like, oh, well, why is he acting so out of character and being diplomatic and polite about this guy? But you know, at the end of the day, I mean, he's a manager of people, and you know, you require strong confidence in the folks who are doing it, not just that you trust them, but also that they're executing within the four corners of their job title and mission. But I got to say, Peter Meyer, you've said something that should be picked up on by people in the primary media. They won't ever give the president credit. But you said the president had a good relationship with Secretary John Phelan. He had a relationship, but the president stepped back and let the guy in charge of that area, Hegseth, make the decision, and the president didn't block the decision just because he had a relationship with this guy. Yeah. That's a very important point, don't you think?
It's almost like he's operating as a mature manager of people at an institution, you know, shockingly, right? That isn't the media narrative. They expect to fire in fury. They expect the the fireworks and the drama. And I feel like our media is poorly calibrated to just look at pretty banal personnel moves and not try to, make a mountain out of a molehill.
Again, you put a point on it brilliantly, as always. It's why we call you, Peter. Former Congressman Peter Meyer, and Army veteran. We thank you for your service here and to this great country of ours. Thanks, Peter. We'll talk again soon.
Always a pleasure, sir. Take care.
Thank you. As we continue, Focus with Paul W. Smith, approaching 129. One of the great things I get to do in this chair, in this job, is tell you about people who I honestly think can help you and make your life better, and in this case, your life and your family's lives better. And that's Estate Planning Legal Services, PC. Because the fact of the matter is, and this is a fact, this is not a sales pitch, the reality is probate is not good. Probate is bad, it's slow, it's expensive, it's completely public. I can't come up with a lot of good things about probate if you can avoid it. The good news is you can avoid probate. You can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And yes, don't say, oh, trust, that's for rich people. No, that's for everybody who's accumulated anything, and that includes you and me. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and you protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life as one of their customers. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and importantly, stress-free. I want you to get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation. Learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. Call Estate Planning Legal Services PC at 248-435-0400. That's 248-435-0400. Or you can go online to EPLSPC.com. Now, that's a mouthful, but understand it stands for Estate Planning Legal Services PC.com. That's EPLSPC.com. You will be glad you did, and so will your family be glad. We continue in Focus at WJR about 1:31.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Play Weingart's Mow Master Challenge. You could win $500 toward a new mower or lawn equipment. A healthy lawn is a happy lawn, and you need quality tools to keep yours growing green. Here's your Mow Master question. In the spring when grass grows quickly, what is the recommended mowing frequency? Text keyword lawn followed by your answer to 800-859-0957. Need a hint? Find answers and official rules at WJR.com.
Everything from lawn to snow.
For 50 years, one organization has been a steady light for Michigan's autism community. Autism Supportive Michigan, founded in 1976, celebrating 5 decades of service. You may have known them as Autistic Citizens of Michigan or Autism Society of Michigan. But while their name has evolved, the mission remains steadfast. ASM is here for individuals on the spectrum, the families who love them, and the professionals who support them. From accessible information to vital referral services, they're Michigan's trusted statewide connection to a stronger network of support. As we all honor the advocates and families who have shaped this journey, ASM looks forward to another 50 years of promoting industry and acceptance across our great state. If you're looking for resources, education, or just a place to start, visit autism-mi.org. Autism Supported Michigan. 50 years of dedication, a lifetime of support.
Hey, Bob, how's business?
Sucks.
That bad?
Sucks. And I'm not alone. Did you see the new report by the regional chamber? Our Michigan economy's been thrown into reverse.
I did see that. We used to be in the top half. Now we're like
at the bottom. No wonder I can't find good workers or new clients or...
You know, you should do what I did. Join Trade First.
Trade First?
Trade First Barter Network. Go to tradefirst.com and see. Opens whole new markets.
And grows your business?
Trade First grew my company by 10 to 20% in 2 years as a member.
Wow.
And because it's a trade exchange, it really conserves cash flow.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of sucks.
Thousands of local Michigan businesses are growing through the Trade First Barter Network. Go to tradefirst.com and watch a quick video to see trade in motion. Tradefirst.com or call 248-544-1350. Get going. Start growing. Tradefirst.com.
Spring is here, and so are the savings at Clarkston Window and Door. This month, get 37% off installed replacement windows, plus 0% financing for 15 months. You heard that right, 37% off. 0% financing for 15 months. And Clarkston is even giving you free exterior color on top of all that. Call Clarkston Window and Door today or visit us online.
We sell, we install. That's right, we do it all. Clarkston Window and Door.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk.
I'm Vince Colonnese, host of the Vince Podcast. I'm bringing you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories.
In-depth interviews.
We feature news-making interviews with the top guests on the whole planet. And I'll ask the questions you only dream of other interviewers asking.
And a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. You are going to love Vince.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose of Deets.
The Daily Dose of Deets.
But when you're building a product that you know is being used by children and you are designing it to be as addictive as possible, you don't get to just step back and say, not our fault.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
Not every at-bat will be magic. There will be days where reality hits. That's how baseball works.
The Daily Dose of Deets.
What would Jesus do if he were in our shoes right now? Would he be on social media tearing people apart? Or would he be doing something very different? Listening, loving people, even the ones who see the world completely different.
First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz.
We're 44th out of 50 states in this country in fourth grade reading. So I want to ask you something. How is that acceptable?
Weekdays at 9 on WJR. You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
No, seriously. I think that Jesus would in fact get new shoes if given the opportunity, with something with more support. Apparently, United States Senator Gary Peters is demanding answers after deadly tornadoes tore through southwest Michigan last month without any apparently really timely warnings, if you recall. WJR's Marie Osborne has the story. Good afternoon, Marie.
And hi there, Paul. So during a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing, Senator Peters secured a commitment from U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to investigate the National Weather Service's failure to alert the public ahead of the March 6 storms that tore through Michigan. The system produced 4 tornadoes that day, including the strongest to hit Michigan in nearly 50 years. Peters said by the time the warnings were issued, the first tornado, it had already struck a home in Niles and it killed a 12-year-old boy. Peters called the delay is a serious failure and said the focus has to be on the facts and preventing future tragedies. Secretary Lutnick agreed to work with Peters. He wants to get the answers and improve the emergency alert systems. Peters also pressing for a formal after-action report from the National Weather Service, and he does want that report shared with Congress, Paul W.
I guess I wouldn't have necessarily immediately thought to blame or question or lay at I guess I wouldn't have thought about Howard Lutnick and his position as Commerce Secretary being the guy that one would go after failures of the what would have been called or thought of as the National Weather Service, but that's because I don't know the hierarchy or how that goes. I mean, did that surprise you at all?
Yeah, I didn't realize that either, other than it was during a hearing and maybe that was the person sitting there. I'm not clear on that either.
Yeah, so Lutnick said, I'm happy to leave here, go back and examine where we are with respect to that report and have a conversation with you with respect to that report. I didn't see it. I'm glad you're covering it because I don't know if he was just trying to, get along and give an answer to a question that maybe he didn't expect, but I wouldn't have thought that was his responsibility.
Yeah, his purview. I'm not clear on why he would have the Commerce Secretary would be the one to come forward on this, other than obviously he's a member of the cabinet. There are still many questions though related to what happened that day. Someone that I know who works in meteorology, I asked them about this, and they said these storms were so fast and hit so hard that it just wasn't possible to get that warning out. But there's been so much reporting on this and so much demand for answers as to why they couldn't get the warning out. That's why this is happening. And it took the life of a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Along with others.
And we do have a tendency anymore to expect answers. And maybe we expect people to be able to do things that they can't actually do. Maybe what you just said is right. What your weather people told you, your weather friends, that it came up so strong and so fast, there was nothing we could do. That's a real possibility when dealing with Mother Nature. And we have to kind of accept that. And we don't like to accept that. We like to think that we can be above all that and in front of all that. Maybe we can't be.
Yeah, we want answers. But you know what? It's definitely worth a look. And it's definitely worth an examination here, because certainly if they were understaffed or incorrectly staffed, we are the public. We need to know that.
And Senator Gary Peters did send a letter to the National Weather Service Director, Ken Graham, pressing for answers into what prevented the National Weather Service from, in fact, issuing timely and appropriate emergency alerts prior to this fatal storm. So I'm going to give Senator Gary Peters the benefit of the doubt, and he's just looking to make sure that no stone goes unturned.
Right. Yep,
hey,
exactly.
I hope you never take this as anything but a compliment that I always ask you foodie questions.
Shoot.
Has Marie Osborne ever made pigs in a blanket?
Oh, heavens, yes.
Okay.
Hello.
I didn't know if it was too lowly.
Family favorite.
It's everybody's favorite, but it's on the lower end of the gourmet or gourmand spectrum, which is why I put you on top.
Yeah, nothing's on the lower end. Great recipe by Martha Stewart with that. Has a little mustard in it. It's really delicious.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm so hungry at this time.
I'll send it to your staff.
My executive chef.
I'll send it to the staff.
You know where that first came from? 1957, Betty Crocker published Betty Crocker's Cooking for Kids with the first simple recipe for what she called pigs in a blanket. How about that?
Very quickly, years ago, we had a family reunion, all Italians, all the best food. I mean, people outdid each other with the Italian food. I would come with a plate of pigs in a blanket because I was young and I didn't know how else to cook anything else. And after I stopped bringing them, everybody's like, "Hey, where's the pigs in the
Where's
blanket?"
the pigs in the blanket? I believe that story. We got to go. I just got yelled at in my ears. We got to go. The plants will all die. It's 1:43 at WJR.
Faulty electrical can be dangerous. Call Lighthouse Electrical for a free 30-point home inspection, plus knock off $200 on any service upgrade. Call Lighthouse Electrical at 888-915-4448. Keep your home powered with Lighthouse.
Phil Jr. here for Kangaroo. We know tax season doesn't always bring a happy return. That's why we're giving you one with our spring tax relief program. We are giving you an instant return of $2,499 off a complete roof or siding replacement. Why wait for the IRS when you can get instant savings on the home exterior you need? That's massive savings backed by our exclusive 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee. But hop on this deal before it vanishes.
Kangaroo, we have to it.
Visit kanga-roof.com.
Explore food security through stories, strategies, and solutions that empower communities and inspire action. Hear thought leaders from across the state on Food Secure Nation with Dr. Phil Knight and Jerry Brisson. Sunday nights at 9 on 760 WJR. Sponsored by Know Better, Do Better. WJR and the Detroit Economic Club are pleased to present the event Michigan State and Spartan Athletics Leading Through Innovation. It's Friday, May 8th at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Join MSU President Kevin Guskowitz and Director of Athletics Jay Batt for a discussion on how MSU is embracing the change and using innovation to lead on a national level. Listen to Focus noon till 2 as we broadcast live. Special coverage is sponsored by DFCU Financial. For tickets and more information, visit econclub.org. DFCU Financial moves at your pace and provides speed to market, flexibility, and direct access to decision makers. Go to dfcufinancial.com today. See site for details.
We started Henyon and Walsh for people like you. People with integrity, honesty, and loyalty. The result? We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts because you've earned it. We're Henyon and Walsh and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
Find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic. Call 800-605-5724, 800-605-5724. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-605-5724. That's 800-605-5724.
Hey there, homeowners. Living in Michigan means enjoying the beauty of all 4 seasons, but it also comes with unpredictable weather that can cause power surges, which can pose serious threats to appliances, heating and cooling systems, and expensive electronics. Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical to let you know that whole home surge protectors can save you thousands in potential damages and give you peace of mind. Visit familyheating.com to find the location nearest you and ask about our whole home surge protectors today. That's familyheating.com.
Join us for a thrilling night of action at the annual Fight Night event on April 29th. Don't miss out on the adrenaline-pumping experience at the Palazzo Grande. Experience the thrill of the ring at Thrilla Gibbs annual Fight Night event on April 29th. Tickets are flying off the shelves, so purchase yours today.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you price custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weingarts. When you think about equipment that's built to last, John Deere is always at the top of the list. You'll find them at Weingarts, where they stand behind what they sell. Visit Weingarts.com to learn more. That's the Weingarts way. We still have that wreck on I-75 southbound at Huron River Drive. That's causing stop-and-go traffic from Gibraltar Road. We've got a tow truck on the scene there. Hopefully that will resolve soon. I-696 eastbound at Orchard Lake Road. That debris has been removed, so you're looking pretty good there. And that wreck on Telegraph Road, southbound at Ford Road, has also cleared. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A few showers for the afternoon, a high of 74. Cloudy with showers for tonight, a low of 51. Overcast and cooler for Saturday with a high of 56. Partly cloudy for Sunday, high of 63. Right now, a little bit of sunshine peeking in, 72 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
We close with a nice conversation, I hope, with our Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson. Been a good week in that the Michigan Court of Claims judge this week dismissed a challenge to Michigan election law brought by the Republican National Committee and the Michigan Republican Party against our Secretary of State and the Director of Elections. Congratulations on your victory, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson.
Thanks, Paul. I hope we'll be saying that again after November.
Good one.
I like the sound of that. Yeah, we were very, very pleased to win that case. I mean, it wasn't, for us, now several years now, we've seen this effort to go to court to further, sort of partisan arguments as opposed to actual legal ones. And in this case, you had overseas and military voters who are legally entitled to vote in our elections, and the court case was trying to make that less clear. We're proud that we won it. I'm proud of our work to ensure, particularly, it's personal to me, our military voters overseas can vote with ease, and that we'll be able to continue ensuring that's possible in this next election and beyond.
There are a lot of suits. This was just one of many cases that Republicans have filed against you. If you were not running for governor, and doing well, do you think all these suits would be happening?
I think we're seeing an increase in attacks on me, given that I'm the front runner and all the rest in this race, but it doesn't really change my work or commitment to ensuring our elections are secure and also fighting, starting to do the real work to make sure our economy is better for everyone. And I'll tell you, Paul, everywhere I go in the state, I hear not about these types of sort of partisan skirmishes. I hear about the fact that residents are trying to choose between whether to eat and pay for medicine or, rising healthcare bills. I mean, a lot of families are choosing not to have healthcare coverage in a moment like this. So that's the real stuff that we need to be talking about, solving, working towards, and that's what I'm focused on in my candidacy for governor.
And would you say, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, Democrat gubernatorial candidate, that'll be at the top of your list of the first things you want to try to accomplish?
Yes. Our campaign has 3 pillars. Number 1, driving down the escalating cost of just about everything from housing to healthcare to energy costs. But number two, increasing wealth. I mean, you have to, 60% of jobs in this state pay $60,000 or less. That's, unsustainable in this economy. And so we also have to grow our economy, increase access to well-paying jobs. And then the third is being willing to also do the work that a governor needs to do right now to protect our citizens, the safety of our communities, the privacy of our communities, to stand up to abuses of authority at the federal level when we see them. And that's what I've done as Secretary of State, and I'm ready to do as governor.
Does it bother you? I mean, you're a human being, for God's sakes. When somebody makes a campaign, also running for governor from the Republican Party, and makes part of their pillar, we're going to investigate everything that the Secretary of State did, to make it sound as if you were almost on the take or stealing money or doing something. I mean, this has got to bother you.
It does on two fronts. I'll say one, it's, I welcome transparency. I've lived under constant scrutiny, really, not just from folks in our state, but the President of the United States throughout my entire term. We rose to meet the moment. But in doing so, the second piece is I'm a protector and I'm a problem solver. And so I hear it. I understand politics is noisy, but I'm here to fix a broken system. And part of that means shutting out the noise and just focusing on getting things done, making our elections run better, eliminating wait times in our branch offices. And as governor, that will mean driving down the cost of healthcare, making it easier to build homes so that teachers and nurses can afford to live in the communities where they're working. That's what I'm passionate about. And when I focus on that, which I know the people of Michigan want their leaders to be talking about, it makes it easier to drown out the noise and just march forward.
Any thoughts on abolishing the state income tax or taking a look at our property taxes, any of that?
Yeah, I absolutely believe we need to review top to bottom how we bring in and generate revenue in this state. It's one of the things I did, obviously in a different level at the Secretary of State's office. And I even did that when I was running Wayne State Law School. We have to, oftentimes, loopholes and antiquated policies leave a lot of funds on the table. Wasteful spending internally drives up costs that we could drive down. So my vision is to review top to bottom how we're generating revenue in the state. And again, review it through the lens of how do we drive down costs for Michiganders. My property tax has gone up significantly as a resident of Detroit the last 10 years. That I feel that pain point, and I know a lot of other families do too. So I want to explore ways to reduce that burden that a lot of families are feeling. But you need a sort of comprehensive review of how we're going to generate new revenue and also, spend more effectively and efficiently the money we do have at the state level.
Madam Secretary, your webpage is?
JocelynBenson.com. We have an entire affordability agenda on the website that folks can read. It's going to be growing in the months ahead, and also an opportunity for people to weigh in and share their thoughts on what you think the next governor of the state needs to do to make your life easier.
JocelynBenson.com, our current Secretary of State, who would like to be our next governor. We wish you good luck. Nice talking with you as always.
Always a pleasure, Paul, and I'll see you at Mackinac, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. We'll look forward to being up there at Mackinac with you, too. Is that coming up already? Man, oh, man. Time
it's spring.
Zooming by. Yeah, well, it's going to be a good one up there. And let's face it, they do a great job up there, not just Grand Hotel at Mackinac Island, but Sandy Barua and his team putting that whole thing together. And WJR is proud to be, for the 30th plus years, a part of it. So we'll look forward to seeing you up there.
Always. And I appreciate always the opportunity to talk with you, and hope you have a great weekend.
All right. The same to you as we continue getting ready to hand it off to the very capable Ryan Ermani, JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermani. And he's, in fact, inviting another gubernatorial candidate. He's inviting Mike Duggan.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that conversation today, Paul. That's going to be at 3:48 today. And look, he is being attacked on both sides.
Yeah.
And
what really was crazy for me was he was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I know
by
it.
The Democrat Party. And the minute he said he was running as an independent, he was a terrible man.
It's
so
spot on.
Yeah.
Isn't it, though? Isn't that why politics is just a nasty game?
Dirty.
Terrible.
Okay, so how many pigs in a blanket could you eat at one sitting?
Oh, man. At least probably 40. I'm going to say 40.
And I'm going to say, please don't. We need you to be around. We got to go. Stand by for news. And Ryan Ermani, have a great weekend. See you Monday. Regards, Paul W. Smith.
Spring clean.